Disclaimer: this video aims to represent person, not responsibility.
We are anonymous.
Hello humans, today in this video I'm going to share a conspiracy behind Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide. He escaped from this virtual reality. He only dead by physical but not by astral. He gives him soul to the Saturn. This is why he always tells on social medias I love to watch Saturn rings with my telescope. We all know he owns a piece of property in Moon. According to David Icke's reptilian and moon matrix theory, Moon is owned by non-human entities well known as the Illuminatis. According to him human race book he told Moon is a big spacecraft that's controlled by non-human entities and they're manipulating us with this reality. They're controlling us with frequencies. Frequencies are playing major role in our life. But we don't give a shit about it. According to him everything you need to know but never have been told book explain our true reality with the use of quantum physics. Okay, let's start with some proof. Now you're seeing the article about Sushant Singh Rajput buys the property in Moon in 2018. This is old news. Now I can hear your mind voice, it's a fake news. How can be person will buy a property in Moon? Medias always create a hoax to tempt viewers. But there is official website lunarlandregistry.com. I don't know this real or not. Now you seeing the Moon land buying website. I know it's really cheap how they sell a property above the earth at this much lowest price like $25 per acre. I have two possibilities. One, the Moon is above the earth. Our textbook says we can't live there. This is why Moon property is cheap. It'll be helpful for future, not now. If all of our human species buys all over the planet and then we have only chance to buy outer planet properties or space mining industry. Another possibility, it's a scam. They also provide some premium offers. Okay, now watch David Icke's interview about the Moon Matrix conspiracy theory.
Different people in different ways, and I just put it together. When I started out on the whole Moon thing, it was a classic sequence again, where I sat down at the computer to start writing a day of that book, and the energy in the room changed, and I thought, here we go, I know this one. And then what passed through my mind was very powerfully, the Moon's not like you think it is, or worse to that effect. The Moon's not what people think it's to be, like a natural body. And I put a few words into NetFind, and up came a book called Who Built the Moon, which I'd never heard of, by two researchers who've written other books. And I read it very quickly when it arrived, and I realized, as you do so often when you're challenging convention, that we're born into the world, and we tend to accept what's already here as how things are. We don't question them. And this is very relevant, for instance, now, because we are at the moment the last generations who have the ability to see how the world was in terms of at least a semblance of freedom, and how it's becoming now with all the surveillance, all the tracking, all the fingerprinting and iris scanning. The children being born today, to them, this is how it is. They've got nothing to compare it with.
The socio-conditioning is so impactful that we think this is it.
Yeah, and so apply that to the Moon. You're born into the world, the Moon comes up. Night after night after night, year after year after year.
You don't question it.
Don't question it. And when I started, because of this process that began, in the way I've explained, when I started looking at the Moon, I was thinking, I never knew that. I never knew that. And so often when you see what is accepted to be scientific fact, like, oh, this is how the moon was formed, mate. When you go through the process of following that back, it's a theory. In truth, science has no idea where the moon came from. And as one scientist said quite rightly, the only thing you can say for sure about the moon is it must be observational error. It shouldn't be there. It's far too big. And as this book, Who Built the Moon, points out, the geometry and the mathematics between the moon, the earth, and the sun are absolutely incredible. So much so that the moon is about the same size as the sun when viewed from the earth, which is where we get the eclipses from. And then you start to realize the extent to which, never mind this moon matrix that I'm talking about as an add-on to this, even the moon being there, the size that it is, where it is, it's a fundamental impact on human life. The angle of the earth, the speed of spin, so it's affecting our relationship to time. It has a fundamental impact on the
I hope you
endocrine
humans,
system, which
you'll
connects
get
into the chakra
clarification
system,
about
which
how
connects
to
into
use
the
ASCII
hormonal
text
system.
art.
It
The
has an
developer of
impact,
this script
serious
removed custom
impact
ASCII
on the
art. I'll show
pineal
how
gland,
to add your
part of
favorite
the
ASCII
third
in
eye,
next
the
videos.
sixth sight,
If you love
the
my
getting
channel,
out there beyond
subscribe
five
and
sense
click bell.
reality.
Thank
And
you.
of course it has a fundamental effect on the tidal systems of the earth, and we're 60-70% water. It must have some effect even on that level. And when I started going down this road and seeing all these anomalies, and then you start to see that when the moon has been impacted with a major hit, and they've got seismometers up there to sort of recording all this and seeing what happens. And they say that the moon rings like a bell or rings like a gong. One scientist talked to the authors of this book saying that it kind of shook and in a way that was like it was hollow and had hydraulic struts inside it, and then you've got this very, very large titanium content of the moon, which is very different to the Earth. And what the official story of science is that the moon came out of the Earth, that a Mars-type planet hit the moon and hit the Earth rather, and a great chunk came off and became the moon. And they call that the first one anyway, the Big Whack theory, or this impact. But when the physics of that didn't work out, they came up with a double Big Whack theory, which is that this Mars-type planet hit the Earth, went away, came back, giving another smack. It's like they haven't got a clue, and it's very clear when you put all this stuff together that for me the moon is not real. It could be a hollowed out planetoid, or it could be a from scratch construct, because this is the big thing that we as humans have to get across and get over if we're going to understand the nature of what's going on in the world. And that is the cutting edge of human technological, whatever you want to call it, potential. Funnily enough, sits back in amazement, deep breath, shock to the core, is actually not the cutting edge of what's actually possible. And if you want to suppress someone's sense of possibility, then suppress the information that gives them the understanding that far more is possible than appears to be so. Example, if you keep from people the
I
law
hope
of
you
gravity,
humans you learn something new
the
and
idea of the
understand
Earth is
about
not
how to
flat, it's
install
loose.
Metasploit framework in
because people at
Termux.
the bottom of a
If you
sphere
like
without
my
gravity
channel,
would fall
subscribe
off.
and click the
And
bell.
you go,
Comment what
it's
you want to
impossible.
know
It's
about,
got to be
I'll
flat,
help.
mate. And then you say,
Thank
well,
you.
hold on, here's the law of gravity. I can see now. So what seems to be impossible, that's ridiculous, bizarre, to I can see it now, is simply the scale of information that we have.
If you still doesn't believe what I'm saying, just look at the screenshot of Sushant Singh Rajput and Lauren conversation. Sushant Singh Rajput says he committed with Illuminati flims. This is not text editor or fake chat, this is the real message screenshot between them. If you don't believe in me, go and check an Instagram post of Lauren. Sushant is not dead, he is alive. He level up and he leave from his illusionized fake reality and move to the another dimension where they're controlling us. Well-known God. Every religion says one point, there's someone up there and watching you. What are you doing here? Now you ask if it's true why they choose Sushant, because all cinema industries are owned by them, including the actors and actresses. Sushant is a well-brainy and well-educated person, especially in physics. Now you can saw him education qualification. They only want well-brain functioning peoples, not dumb peoples. This is the reason behind why the select Sushant and you well know Bollywood actors don't know the fundamental law of physics. I hope you humanities you enjoy this video. If you like my channel, click subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.